Welcome to Success Decoded. Experience is a master teacher, even when it's not your own. That's what we believe in. A podcast about startup, entrepreneurship experiences, and loads of learnings from the best entrepreneurs and investors from all across the globe. I am Balaji Rao, your host. Come join this revolution by Startup Monk and learn things that will help you for life.
To drop the value bombs, today we have got Sangeeta Yadav with us, who is prominently called as Women in Logistics in the startup ecosystem. Sangeeta Yadav co-founds and is the director of Portflip Ventures Private Limited, which is an intra-city logistics aggregator. Apart from that, Sangeeta also heads a lot of positions. One of them is she is the president of CIM SME. Apart from that, Sangeeta Yadav has also won a lot of pitching events, one of which is BITS Pilani is a pitching event called Apogee in 2019. Welcome Sangeeta to Success Decoded. Say hi to the audience.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I'm humbled and I'm honored to be on your show. Thank you so much.
Cool. So Sangeeta, like every entrepreneur has a story in the backside, and right from the journey to your experiences and going to co-founding the Portflip Ventures and what it took to go right from the college life to co-founding a venture, how it was, how the journey was, what were the up and downs, and how was your journey on a whole?
All right. So I graduated in 2010 in commerce, and after that, every youngster, I was also looking for corporate jobs and all. So the startup system was not that much developed at that point of time. It was still coming up. So but then what happened? Most of the things happened after my marriage in 2007. My husband was very much keen to get into the startup world because he always wanted to do something of his own. And they say that if your partner thinks of something and you get inspired by them, then you also start thinking on the same line. So we wanted to do something, but then everything needs a good idea, good money. And so what we did is we were working in our corporate profiles, and we were also thinking of what we can do. After a few years, we decided that we should do something in the logistics sector because this is one sector which is always going to boom. What exactly we can do? That was the question. That time, Ola and Uber were coming up, and they were doing a good job in the cab industry. And we used to see these trucks idle and all. And when we shifted from Delhi to Mumbai, we faced a lot of issues. Getting a truck for ourselves. To move the stuff and all, household stuff. So we said, why not do something in this sector because it looks good. So that's how we started, doing our market and research. Initially, we were three of us, me, my husband, and a friend. And we used to visit the Nakas. We used to speak to the drivers, the transport associations, and we used to, take a feel of, what exactly, the industry is, how the industry is operating right now, and what value add we can, bring to this thing. So there's a lot of disconnect between, the customers, the end customers who uses the product, who uses the truck, and the driver who is actually going to supply for it. So with Portflip, we are trying to bridge that gap so that, instead of going to different places and speaking to multiple people, the customers can come to one place and they can, get a lot of options. And they can, at the comfort of their home, they can decide, which provider they would want to go with. So this is how Portflip started in 2017 in the month of June, and since then we have been operating as an aggregator.
So are you operating in both B2B and B2C, or how is it like?
So we are operating in both B2B and B2C. Most of the revenue comes from B2B, but then it's all through an old thing that B2B lives a lot on credit. So the companies usually pay after a credit period of 7 days, 15 days, some even go up to 30 days and 45 days also. With B2C, the thing is the payment is always upfront. So it keeps, adding to the live cash that is required to run the business. So we are doing both the sectors.
So there's a lot of thing going on in the logistics, and definitely the thing you're doing is really amazing, providing a logistics facility by aggregating a lot of small trucks and all of those things. So also you have been participating in a lot of events and also heading a lot of roles. So one of the main factor for an entrepreneur is to put his image at as many places as possible, so that he can just establish an image. So how important do you think the PR segment is for an entrepreneur? And also you have headed a lot of responsibilities. How important do you think those have affected your responsibilities, as well as how they have helped in forming a good image for you? How is it going on that side?
I think PR is important for every entrepreneur, because having some good names associated with your thing is always going to help you. It helps in networking, connecting with a lot of people, which helps you in your business, collaborating with different people for different things. So I think it's important. And recently I've been I've been enrolled in this state president position for CIMSME, which is Confederation of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. So I've recently joined in as a state president for MSME sector. So we will be looking into a lot of MSME companies that are coming up in these cities of Mumbai and Pune, and we'll be helping them, because these companies, they need a lot of support initially, and support could be in terms of anything, for training events, or for getting loans, or for various knowledge based trainings and all. So there are so many things that we can do to help out the MSMEs. So that is what my role will be. I have just recently become a part of it. So as I go along the way, I'll be able to share more things that I would be doing. And in Portflip, as a co-founder and a director, I do have a lot of responsibilities and all. I look after all the corporate clients and everything. I take care of all the finance. So in a startup, you have to do basically everything. If you speak to any co-founder, you'll realize, right from giving tea cups to your employees to handling meetings and everything. So everything happens. So that is how PR thing has been.
Okay, that's cool. So for anyone and everyone who are having a startup, right, you can reach Sangeeta Yadav on LinkedIn. Also, you can find the contact link below, so that if you have any kind of as stated by Sangeeta, she is the state president at CIMSME for micro and small enterprises. If you are having a startup, if you are based in Mumbai or Thane, you can just reach out and discuss things with Sangeeta. Apart from that,
just to add, Balaji, I have been. If it will help if you just put women in logistics also in the search group, because that will help to get to me faster. Also in my LinkedIn, I do get a lot of connections from people who aspire to be in logistics. So with your podcast, with this medium, I would like to say everyone that I'm open for mentorship and all. So anyone who would like to speak to me regarding this, most welcome. And they can drop in a message, and we can fix a time and always discuss further. So I'm very much open to it, and thank you so much for bringing this up.
Cool. So also Portflip was among top 10 startups of Mumbai in the Economic Times, as well as Leaders of Tomorrow Season 8 pitching competition, and also the BITS Pilani thing in 2019. So how important do you think these pitching events are? And also the other startup events like networking events and all of those. Can you please explain how important these are, and also your journey, and how you got the victory at BITS Pilani Entrepreneurship Business Conclave called Apogee, and also what impact has it had in the journey after that thing?
Yes, I just, this is one of the most special moments for our startup folks here because, Balaji, I'll say, there's so many startups who are doing really good job, but then, unless and until they have some recognition attached to their names, people don't know about them. And Bit Pilani has given us something that, any startup would actually ask for because we have, it has given us name, fame and recognition and a lot of connections and all. It has helped us a lot. So before that, we were working, but then, nobody knew us. After that, people started recognizing us. They started connecting with us. They started, connecting with us for business, for networking, for so many things. So it happened. I would say that every startup should, participate in pitching events because, don't go there with the intention of winning. I always go to any event with the intention of learning, connecting with people. And that's what we did at Bit Pilani also. So around 500 companies that applied there, and only 30 of them got shortlisted for the main pitching event. So like others, we also went there, and you find it funny. We were actually leaving, before the names were announced because we had a train to catch, and when we were at the gates, Bit Pilani is a huge campus. We were at the gates and we got a call that you have won the competition and we are waiting for you, and that's how we came back because we never had the intention of winning. Our intention was whenever we go to any event, at least 50 people should know about us. That's what we want to do, right? People should know about our company.
True.
So that win was a huge amount of motivation for us. It was a great booster. We just felt like celebrities at that point of time. And it was an awesome feeling. And after that, but I never stopped, going to pitching events. Till date, also, if, there is any pitching event happening, we make it a point that we try to, visit there and attend the event and all. Because winning, losing is not the thing. Getting connected with the investors or getting connected with people who can help us grow our business, that is also very important. So we do that. And about the Economic Times thing, yeah, that was also very nice. So Economic Times tells us, reality show, Leaders of Tomorrow. You must have seen these dance shows, singing shows and all, right? People come there, they sing, and then, people are shortlisted and all. So in the Western Zone, around 20 companies were shortlisted, and of those 20, the event, I was the only female founder over there. Rest all were males and all.
Okay.
So the competition was great. A lot of renowned investors had come in there. It was a big platform because it was like telecasted on television and other mediums also. So we were in the top 10 over there in the Western Zone. Mm-hmm. So we just got we were a few points short. Otherwise, we would have made it to the top 5 and gone to the next round. But then I think our journey was only till there. So it was a great learning experience. We got to meet a lot of people. And it was fantastic because, from one event, you get to meet some people, then you get connected to some other event. Mm-hmm. So I always try to, be part of all these events. Like I'm also a member of the She Leads Tech group. If you've heard about it, this is basically for women founders who have some technical thing in their startup. Mm-hmm. So be it a technical, app or website with a chat box. So things like these. So the She Leads Tech is, a venture of Your Story and Facebook, and it promotes female co-founders. So with your Medium podcast, I would, ask all those women co-founders who are listening to me that if you have something technical in your startup, drop in a message or mail, or just do Google search. Facebook also will find this group and be a part of it because they also conduct a lot of events. And right now, because of lockdown, they are conducting a lot of webinars and all, which help a lot to women co-founders. Also, you get to meet a lot of mentors and, co-founders of startups who have, a good name in the industry. They're like really successful people whom, we can, just find on LinkedIn, but then, to see them in person and to speak to them, that's a totally different feeling altogether. So that platform is giving, that chance to speak to such people. So that is also very good. So, be it any co-founders, so pitching events are important to attendees. You learn a lot. We can share something about your company, and people generally give you advice also. So you can always see what is good and what is bad for you. End of the day, it is your startup, your call. But then there is no harm in hearing out people. That is what I would say.
Okay, just to summarize, it's like you will learn a lot from the pitching events. That's the first thing, and also you will get to network with a lot of people. We don't know when, in turn, those people would approach us for any. They can be our clients, investors, or something like that. Some kind of triangle would be formed, and you can be found. It's also the thing, and the third thing which Sangeeta has discussed is something like you should not go with the intent to win, but you have to participate and keep on iterating by learning things from there, and keep on building on your startup. Cool. So let's get to the next question, Sangeeta. And what do you see the future of logistics industry in the coming years, as you have been into this? And also, like, if there is a person who is looking to enter the logistics industry, so what would you advise based on how it would be in the future? So a futuristic approach of logistics is what I'm trying to understand from.
So I see the future of logistics as very bright. See, the situation of lockdown, the only sector which keeps on moving is the transportation sector, right? Because essential commodities have to be transported to people. So this is one sector which will not die, irrespective of the situation and all. So the future is very, very bright. It's a $300 billion industry, and we at Fortip are into the intra-city aggregation sector. So that is totally about $60 billion industry for the entire of India. So I think it's great. It's huge. There's a lot of potential in it. Only it needs good players to tap this market. And as far as entering the logistics sector is required, I think anyone with an interest and a passion for this field should come into it, because talent has no boundaries. And also, people can go for professional degrees also, but then, we at Fortip, we don't have any professional logistics degree associated with us, but still we are able to, manage. So I don't think that should be a constraint, but then, people can go for formal degrees also. And the competition, there are many players. There are players in the interstate markets, intra-city markets, and everyone, has their own way of working, their own business models and all. Some are like on commission-based models, some are on bidding-based models. So, depending upon your experience, your feeling about the market and all, you can go about it. So anyone, with passion for this logistics can get into this. And competition will always be there. You just need to be ready for it.
Okay.
It also makes it exciting, right?
True. And also, when there is competition, there is more room for innovation, right?
Exactly.
One startup looks for another, and things like what USP can we provide. It in turn turns out good to the customers as well. They end out getting a lot of good options as well.
Exactly. And I also see the competitors as brothers, because if they face any difficulty, the same can come to us also. So if someone is facing a problem, we try to ensure that we are able to take care of that problem beforehand, because obviously you understand, right? Not just competition is like if मेरे भाई को अगर problem है तो I may also get into that problem. So like that.
Okay. So with all of this said, so what one advice do you have to young entrepreneurs? And there's a lot of competition, there is a lot of glamorizing of things. So a lot of people tend to not look at the startup ecosystem like they have to. So a lot of people go into other paths, like they don't understand properly. So what one advice do you like to give to any fellow entrepreneur who is at building stage? He's not at he's an aspiring entrepreneur. What would you advise?
So, one advice is not going to be sufficient. Balaji, I think I'll throw in a few advices over here.
True, definitely.
The first thing, that I've seen among youngsters is that, they read a lot about startups getting, funding and all. And they think, okay, we should do something that should get a lot of funding. So, no, this is not the way they should be thinking. And I am truly, against this, because, people come up and discuss that, ma'am, someone did something like this and they got really huge funding, so we also go for something like that. No, it is not the right approach. just for the sake of funding, never get into the startup sector. Try to build up, try to solve a problem, because that is what will help you excel in your domain. So first try to solve a problem. That should be the mindset to get into a startup. Do not think about funding, because that is not the right approach. Second is try to remain bootstrap as long as you can, because with your money you are the king. You make your decisions, and be it right or wrong, you are responsible for the same, and no one can question you. So try to remain bootstrap as much as as long as you can. And one more advice that I would like to give is, if you have some MVP is like minimum viable product. Let's say you want to launch an app in the market. So do not wait for to complete all the things in your app and then launch in the market. If your MVP is ready, just start in the market, because you can always do additions and alterations and modifications even if the app is in the market. Do not wait for too long. We waited we wasted 3 to 4 months to launch Code+, because we wanted some features to be added. But then a friend advised that if the MVP is ready to launch in the market, you can always do the additions later. The right time and the perfect app will never be ready. It will always be you will always do something or the other to it, decorations and all. So do not wait for everything to be done before so this is what I would like to say. Remain bootstrapped, launch your MVP, and do not run after funding.
Okay.
You loved this episode of Success Decoded. We would love for you to subscribe and share it with other fellow entrepreneurs and support them, as it doesn't cost you anything extra to subscribe. In return, you won't miss the awesome episodes that are lined up for you. Also, don't forget to join our entrepreneurs community of over 1 million plus entrepreneurs from all across the globe. You can find the link in the show notes below. Until next time, keep hustling, keep getting better, and this is Balaji signing off on Success Decoded.